Okay, so after a little thought, I actually am not really loving this table here. I don't hate it, but there's some things I want to fix. And since we haven't run any migrations after this, and since I haven't actually pushed this to production, we can kind of cheat a little bit here and update this file. But first we need to do Rails DB rollback to roll back the migration. And then we can just go in here and edit some of the stuff within this file. Okay, so the rollback ran and I can show you what actually happened. So we should no longer have that table anymore. So there's no longer a totals table. So what we're gonna do here is I want to just change this from date to maybe starting on. And that's because the way that this totals table is going to work is, I should say starting, is this date column here is going to represent the point in which we are calculating the total. So it'd be nice if we can just say like, total dot starting on and get the date from there versus total dot date. That's just more of kind of personal preference on my end. I mean, we're still keeping it as a date column and null false. Like we're not actually changing the integrity of the column, we're just changing the name. These two columns, these are still fine, but the next thing I want to do, and I'm actually going to copy this because I can't spell, is I want to add range, and this is going to be an enum. And I'm going to set it to null false just to force us to have something in there. And what I'm thinking, at least in the future, is it might be nice to get the total for not only the week, but also the month and the year. Right now we're just going to focus on the week. So we would need to specify that on a column somewhere. So if you have a total starting on, let's say like, Monday, January 1st, it's possible that Monday, January 1st could be the start of not only the week, but also the start of the year and the start of the month. So we're going to want to specify what exactly the total is for. So for now, it's going to just be week. So we'll have like total dot, total starting on, and again, I'm making this up, Monday, January 1st, and the range would be week, and then we would know that the distance and the duration for that particular instance of a total, it would be scoped to a week and not a month. And this will just sort of allow us to have one column to store all totals. So this is all looking good. I'm going to go ahead and run Rails DB migrate. Oh, I made a mistake here. So starting on should be the name of the column, not the type of the column. So that was my bad. You probably saw me do that. Okay, so that ran. Let's just go ahead and check our schema real quick. What do we got here? Totals. Okay, so we got starting on, and we also have the range, which is an integer. That's going to actually be an enum. So that's good. But I think our tests are going to fail. So if we do Rails T test models total test, they're probably going to fail. But that's okay. We'll go ahead and update that real quick. Okay, so it actually looks like we never wrote any tests yet. So nothing actually failed. But I do know that in our fixture, we're going to want to update those. We're going to want to add the range into the fixture because we're going to make sure that it's null. It needs to have a range because we set null to false for that particular column. So that's under test, fixtures, and totals. So we have this. Let's just go ahead and do range, and I'll just do week. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then in our actual total model, so we have belongs to user. We also want to go in here and do an enum, and for now we're just going to do the range, and we'll just do week. But later on we could do month and we could do year. So we have that. Let's just do a quick get status. And let me just refresh my memory in here. So we wire this up so that user has many totals. Dependent destroy. Okay. So that's good. Maybe now we just want to quickly write some tests here. So the first thing we want to do is let's go in here and create a setup block. And we'll do, we need to get a user here because a total belongs to a user, so we have to get that. And let's go to our users fixture. We can just do, let's do confirmed user for now. And then in here we can just do total equals user dot totals dot build. And for this we'll do starting on, and I'll just do time dot zone dot now. And what else do we have in here? Gotta check the schema file. So we need to have a user starting on, don't need to worry about duration and distance, and we need a range. So let's just do range and set it to week. And I just realized I think my fixtures need to have starting on. So user date, yeah, so let's change date to starting on. Okay, so we have that. So now let's just quickly do should be valid. And this will just be kind of a smoke test. So assert total dot valid. And then I'm going to just quickly go through here and should have a starting on value. And we'll just go in here and do total dot starting on equals nil. And then we'll just make this assert not valid. And should have a range value. We'll set that to nil. All right, so that's in a good spot. Let's just do, and these are probably going to fail because we don't actually have a validation written for those. So at the database level, these wouldn't get saved, but it's going to raise some type of error, and it's not actually going to pass. So let's just do railst test totals, or models totals. Let's see here, what do they do here? User.totals.build. Undefined method totals for user. User, did I associate them? Has many activities. Oh, okay. So this is good. So it's a good thing about the test. Has many totals. Dependent destroy. Okay, and then now our tests are just failing, but that particular thing is fixed. So it's actually, it's kind of one of the advantages to doing test-driven development is you catch little things like that that are easy to overlook. So that's good. So now we can just go into our total model here. We can just do validates starting on presence true and range presence true. I think there's a way to do this in one line. Let's just try it this way first before I get clever and cool, because it's probably not going to work. All right, so those pass. I forget if I can do like, let me just try doing this, just adding a comma there, but not wrapping it in the array syntax, the array brackets. Oh, okay, cool. So that's good. Let's just go and quickly I want to test the other end of the association, which is user test. And just want to say like basically should delete associated totals. And let's just do, we'll create a fixture for this. So user with totals, and then let's do confirmed user with totals. I don't think that user actually exists yet. So confirmed user with activities, we'll just copy this. Confirmed user with totals. So we have that, and then if you go to totals, we can just do, let's just do, we'll kind of loop through some here. So we'll do 1 up to 10, do, we'll close this out. And then we'll just do user, what do we call it? User with totals. I'm very explicit with my names here, so I'm going to do confirmed user with totals, and then total, and then just pass in this right here, which is actually, does that work? 1 up to, I think I need to do that, right? You'd think I would remember from doing this like 5 different times. Yeah, okay. So we got totals. So this will give a different name for each, but we want to just do we want to keep this user to confirmed user with totals, and then we'll just do I dot months ago. Duration, let's just do random from 1 to 100, and just do the same with distance. Or actually, we'll just do, oh yeah, because it's going to be a total, so that's true. Maybe we can do like 1 to 100 is good. Range will keep us weak. So now, all that setup was just to really do this. So now if we go into the user test, we have this fixture here, which will actually do something. And then I just want to change this to total count, and then I actually want to just make this a little cleaner. So count equals user with totals dot count. This is kind of sloppy looking, I don't like that. And then we can just wrap that in parentheses to do the negative. And just change that to user with totals. Finally, if you're on Rails, test models, and let's just isolate this one, line 25. Okay, so what do we got going on here? Maybe it's a problem with the fixture. Okay, what did I have there before? I can't even see what the difference is. Okay, well, in any case, that's all set. Real quick, let's just do, I kind of want to do the same thing here because I don't like the way this looks. So we'll just set this as a variable, but user with, swap this out to be the activities, and then we can go in here and just wrap count in parentheses, run that whole test suite. And actually, while we're at it, let's just run the whole test suite. So Rails T. All right, so git status, git add all, and git commit. And we'll just say Reimagine total model. And I'll push that up, and we'll leave off with that for now.